I don't believe in free will. I believe every single thing is predestined. So Bhrigu Nadi is saying, see the 11th house for the death of the mother.
What is the most result producing thing in astrology? Is it dasha or is it transits?
God can give you peace of mind. God can give you that strength to fight that pain or to bear that pain. But pain, if it is destined, it will come to you.
What I think, Satvik, the greatest Raj Yoga in a person is seen without a chart.
Raj Yoga is your birth chart. Sanyog, we can say it's your dasha and transit. It can be turbulent time globally. It can cause some disruptions globally. Generally, whenever Mars, Rahu, Mars, Saturn, they come align together, okay, then it can lead to events like some accidents, disputes, wars, and all these events can lead to the fall of stock market.
Do you think once a person is born on the planet Mars, will that chart be made according to the Mars birthplace, or will it be still considered as on the Earth? Welcome to my YouTube channel Vyasa. This is Aditya, starting off with my very first podcast with a topic that is intriguing to many of us, with a topic that has fascinated millions across generations: astrology. It is neither science nor math, yet it is interesting. From teenagers to young adults, it has excited many. Some people have also found their true calling because of it. So let us dive into it and see what is in it that attracts people the most. Is it true or is it fake? Or is it just a play of probability? My request to all of the viewers who is watching me is to stay with me throughout. Some will find it learning, some will find it exploring, or maybe compelling, and some may just enjoy the conversation. The guest for today is Satvik Saini. He is a very good professional practicing astrologer. He has come all the way from Himachal to Mumbai to be in front of me and answer some of the most insightful questions about astrology and maybe beyond. So let us welcome him on the show. He has also researched much about the ancient predictive techniques. A very good thing about him is that he gives classical references as well, which shows that he is a very learned man. So let us welcome him to the show and start a truly intriguing, interesting podcast. So, Mr. Satvik, I'm very glad to have you here. Tell me something about yourself. How did your journey into this astrology begin?
Thank you so much, Aditya, inviting me for the very first podcast of yours. And see, if I talk about my journey, then it starts somewhere from the year 2016. It was the year 2016, the date was 28th of December. So I went on to consult an astrologer. He was very near to the place I live. Okay. And when I went there, I was not like the astrologer was not informed about anything about me that I am coming there because I went there with one of my relative. But what was the experience that I want to share with you? I just went there. He didn't even ask for my horoscope. So he had one, what we call it in English, like a lota, basically. Okay. And he made me keep his my hand over that lota. And when I kept the hand, he told every single detail of my life, like my parents' name, my parents' profession, okay, and how much siblings my parents are having, like my father's sibling, my mother's siblings, even my grandfather's siblings also. And it was a shocking experience for me. Whatever it was, I was not aware at that time, but it was a shocking experience. And even based upon that thing, he even told me that I have a very good chart and even described some of the combinations in my chart. Today, I realize that it might be a siddhi, it might be a proper siddhi. Not much of the astrological principles were involved in it, but still it was fascinating. And that ignited the fire in me to learn about this predictive science that is astrology.
How do you sustain your life apart from this astrological thing? What do you do apart from astrology?
See,
What's your educational background?
I've just completed my law, my legal studies, and soon I am planning to start my legal practice also. So yeah, that is on the cards. I just got graduated after a 5 year long law school. So that is what I do alongside with it. But my main passion, you can say, it's astrology, because I started learning astrology when I was 16, 17. Okay. So it's a long time now into this subject, and I can share some insights with you and your viewers today to make them aware about what this astrological science is in terms of the predictive aspect. See, I don't do that sort of astrology. Do this remedy, you will get this result, okay, or do this particular thing and you will get that result. No, I always focus upon the classical text, the classical predictive text, and how to make the prediction, because predictions is that main part of astrology which we should follow up.
So when you say this is astrology science, I think you mentioned it like you will make the viewers aware about the astrological science. But when it comes to science, what I think of is it's like chemistry, physics, and biology. Are you talking about those elements involved in astrology, or do you think that this is something science but has no logic in it?
No, see, the problem is now most of the people, they have not read the astrological classical text or the astrological principles. Once they dive into the astrological text, they will realize every principle has a logical reasoning behind it. But see, today, if you ask me after such a long experience, then I still won't call astrological techniques or astrology a pure science. No, I will call it as a intuitive art. This is an intuitive art.
Okay.
Why? Because in astrology, you have so much of combinations, so much of techniques. And when you are looking at one chart, then you have to apply the best of your knowledge. And that can only come from a skill or a art, what we say, and also through the intuition. No matter how much you study, no matter how many techniques you learn, still you can't get constant results in astrology. And that's also true. A maximum accuracy in today's world an astrologer can get in terms of the astrological predictions, that is 80%
Okay.
or 85%. Whereas in science, we have fixed formulas.
Exactly.
You have a fixed formula, you will always get that particular result through that formula. But here, we don't get a constant result. As an astrologer, I might be right on the 7 charts, I might fail badly in the 3 charts in terms of prediction. So we can't call it science,
Exactly.
because we don't have any sure short formulas or sure short rules which will work constantly like butter, which is there in the science. So no, I won't say this is a pure science. Yes, I remember one astrologer. He has a very rare technique of finding your birth time from your palm lines and from the Prashna Kundli. Means the moment you approach that astrologer, he will cast a Prashna Kundli, he will cast a Prashna chart, and based upon the Prashna Kundli, Prashna chart, also based upon your palm lines, he will tell you your exact date of birth, your time of birth, and lot of other details without you telling anything to him. So he has produced a constant results through that. So he can still claim that that is a science, because that is giving constant results to him. But see, such astrologers with such a rare accuracy, they are very few, very few. So coming out to the, like, talking about majority of the people, they are not that accurate, and majority of the techniques also, they are not that accurate. Like, they work in some charts, you will find that the suppose there is a astrological technique from Prashna Marg based upon the Ashtagvarga of Venus for marriage timing. For marriage timing, based upon the Ashtagvarga of the Venus, there is a technique in the Prashna Marga. You will see it is working on 2 charts, then you will find 5 charts where it is not working. So this is not science. But as an astrologer, if you have a formula which you can prove practically that it produces consistent results, then I will say it is a science.
So, I mean, do you think that this has much of more probability element rather than the actual realistic element?
Yeah, this is having more of a uh, probability element as compared to realistic scientific results which we talk about in science.
Okay, so thanks. I mean, clearing this to my viewers, because I mean, there are so many astrologers. They, when they address their viewers, they say that this is complete science. And now, of course, you being so natural to me and to my viewers as well, and you are basically so upfront in the communication that you have clarified yourself, and which is very good because you are not hiding anything, and you are seeing astrology as it is. So apart from this, I mean, I also
No,
have.
no, see, I can't be biased with you. If I follow a particular subject and if I get biased, कि, okay, this is the supreme thing. So, no, this is not the supreme thing. Firstly, you must understand what is astrology. Astrology is the eyes of the Vedas. What is the function of the eyes? The eyes tell you the way. It will tell you the direction. Okay, I have to go there. That is the direction astrology can tell you. But can it change that direction? No. Can it change that destination? No. So if you're expecting that by doing astrology you'll be able to change the final destination, you'll be able to change your track, no, it's not possible. Only purposes of the astrology is the vision into the future. Okay, this is going to happen. Then people will ask why we should consult astrologers. So the reason is for mental stability or for mental balance. You must get mentally strong. For example, if I know my upcoming year is bad, so I can be mentally prepared. I can take certain precautions. If it has to happen, I know it will happen. But still, you will be mentally aware. And moreover, you will have a clarity. Okay, this is my bad time. Next time will be good. Then I'll shine at that. So, only purpose of astrology is the vision, I'll say, to get the vision into the future. Nothing else it can change.
But don't you think that the vision is definitely a necessary thing, but what I feel is some people, I think not some people, most of the people have become so blind, as well as some people become so addictive to this astrological thing. It basically has a toll on their own mindset. Basically, they become more depressive, they become more low minded. So I believe astrology can work in a bad sense as well. What about that?
Yeah, it can work in a bad sense. Means most of the people then use it to mint money negatively in a negative way out of the people. See, making money through astrology is not bad. After all, you're giving your time, and there can be a particular amount you can charge for your time. Okay, that's nominal. But if you start looting the people in terms of the remedies, pujas, which are not relevant, I'm saying not, yeah, remedies and pujas, they do work. I'll tell you the condition when they will work. But if you expect a miracle after doing the remedy, no, that will not happen. Okay, it can influence the results to a certain degree, but not a miraculous change. Okay.
So, I mean, in this journey of yours, who are your gurus and mentors who have guided you throughout? I will really like to know. Even my viewers will like to know that who guided you on this path to this very interesting thing.
See, when I started learning astrology back in 2016, after that incident, like 2016, so this 28th December, I told you that incident when I consulted that astrologer, he told everything. Then I remember 2017 onwards, I started reading and learning about astrology. So when I started now, at that time, see, it was not the situation like it is at this present time. In the present time, everyone is an astrologer. In every home, you will find one astrologer. So that time it was not like this. That time it was a subject which only few people were interested in. So I started learning through magazines. And now when you have asked me for the sources, then I'll share some sources. See, Saptarishi's astrology channel is a very good channel, to be honest. See, I'm not promoting anyone here, but it's a good channel. Sunil John sir, the main person behind Saptarishi astrology, he has given a lot of contribution to the predictive astrology. Before him, I don't think people were much aware about the nadis and all other things. Moreover, the biggest contribution of his was to bring all the relevant sources into one space. So yeah, Saptarishi astrology, their articles, their magazines played an important role in my learning. Later on, if I talk about, then I went through some very good books. Okay, now you'll ask me what are the good books. So see, there's one astrologer S.K. Mehta, late astrologer S.K. Mehta ji. So he was a very brilliant predictor. But the thing was, he didn't follow the traditional rules of astrology. He twisted some of the rules, or he, out of intuition, developed some formulas which were very accurate. Very accurate. Okay. And some of his formulas were sure shot. Like after using those formulas, you can still say that astrology is a science. But there are very few of those. So he has written three books: New Dimension in Hindu Astrology, which is a must read book. New Rules and Combination Hindu Astrology, which is again a must read. And the best book of his, The Advanced Astrology Synchronization of Periods, which has the method to calculate the date of the events, like date of marriage, date of wealth, date of other events. His third book, this Advanced Astrology Synchronization of Periods, is a bit advanced for new learners. I don't advise them to go directly to this book, but the first two books, New Dimension Hindu Astrology and New Rules and Combination Hindu Astrology, it's very good to understand the foundation and the base of the subject. Number two, Bhishma Pitamaha of Astrology, Shri C.S. Patel ji. See, in terms of the astrological contribution, I believe the only contribution you can do in astrological community is by giving a translation. Okay, because what is happening now in today's time, everyone is so much busy in their own fantasies and their own half baked knowledge that they are developing their own observation and selling it in the terms of the astrological knowledge, but that is not the case. And astrological knowledge or astrological technique should be backed with a classical reference, or with will be should be backed with a strong shastra reference. Okay, so now problem is these texts are in Sanskrit or in a different lipi, different basic, yeah. So we need the translation of it. Then only we can figure out, okay, this is the technique, this is a good technique, this is how it works. So translators have a very important role. So when it comes to translations, I believe R. Santhanam has the biggest contribution in astrology. He translated some of the very fine books. For example, Brihat Prashra Hora Shastra, the Bible for most of the astrology learners. R. Santhanamji translated it into the English, which is very important text. C.S. Patelji played a very important role in translating the nadis, real nadis, okay, and providing the translation for some of the major shlokas from the important nadis. And if you read his books, C.S. Patelji has written one book, Nadi Astrology. If you want to master the timing of event in seconds, like how to predict year of the marriage easily, how to predict, okay, month of the marriage easily, okay, I don't say that those techniques works 100%, because that is why I told you in the very starting, it is not a science, it is a intuitive art, but they do work very good in a majority of the charts. So if you read his book Nadi Astrology, you will find lot of rare astrological sutras which are missing in the today's astrological community, or today's people, they don't read about those shlokas. So Nadi Astrology by C.S. Patel is a wonderful book. Now Mansha and Nadi Astrology by C.S. Patel is a wonderful book. And almost all of the books of R. Santhanamji, it's a wonderful books. Okay. And there's one writer, if you ask me, Satyanarayan Naik, he has written a book, The Transits of Planet in Nadi Astrology. That's also a very wonderful book. In my such a long journey, like in the past such a long journey, these are the books which I can say will teach you something practical, which will teach you some hardcore predictive techniques, not the theoretical part of astrology. So if you are a serious learner for predictive astrology, then follow these particular people. C.S. Patel ji is very good. Santhanamji is good. S.K. Mehta ji is good. So their books are very much relevant in the today's scenario. And I don't think anyone require more than this information to be a good predictor. If you follow C.S. Patel ji, okay, and if you follow the S.K. Mehta ji, that will be more than sufficient.
So I think from this information that you provided, many of the viewers who are really interested into the astrological thing, they will definitely go through it and they can get their what we say, the predictive part strengthened. So I hope my viewers have kept a note of it, and maybe you can go through it and let me know in the comment box as well. Is astrology the only predictive thing that we have got, like the humankind have got, or is there any other predictive tools which maybe could be more accurate than astrology?
No, see, other predictive tools, they will also fall in the category of astrology. Whether you talk about palmistry, okay, it also comes under the domain of astrology. So astrology as a whole, it means a predictive science, or not predictive science, but a intuitive art. It has lot of aspects, whether we talk about the Vedic astrology, Nadi astrology, okay, we talk about the palmistry. So as a whole, it compiles to astrology.
So do you also think that tarot is a part of astrology?
I don't follow tarot.
So if you don't follow it's not a part of astrology.
I can't give any opinion on it. because I have not experienced anything related to it, nor I have learned anything related to it. So I can't be biased now. If I say it is not working, then people will be like, okay, आपने तो पढ़ा नहीं है, आप कैसे बोल सकते हो ये काम नहीं करता है? Okay, so I won't comment on it because I don't have any experience with the tarot.
When does astrology attracts people the most? Is it when the people are curious, or when people want to know about themselves, or they are in depression, or maybe they are just feeling low?
See, 70% of the astrological consultations are done when the client is in a problem. He's not having a job, he's trying for a job for a long time, he's not having a good married life, or he's trying for the marriage to happen, or trying for the kids. Anything it can be. 70% of the people will come to you when there is a problem. 20% are there are those people who want to know about the future, they will consult you, okay. And 10% they are like, okay, just for the fun they do a lot of things, okay. Astrologer ko consult karte hain. So there are different categories, I can say.
And in your consultation, like when you do these kind of consultation, which has to do with love, career, and so many of things, health as well, what do you think? I mean, what kind of clients do you come across more?
See, we across every sort of client, and people have become crazy these days. And I want to make clear what is the purpose of astrology. Astrology's purpose can be defined into 5 or 6 categories. Number one, career. Which career will be good for me? When will be my good time in terms of the career? When I will get a job. Marriage. When I will get married, what can be the probable qualities or the profession of the partner? Will it be good marriage or bad marriage? Kids. When I will get the kids, whether it will be a male child, female child, how many? Property. When I can buy a new property. Car, vehicle. Okay. When I can buy a new car. And when I will have a financial gain. Beyond these 6 categories, I don't think there is anything else which we should be discussing in astrology. A practical astrologer will only guide you about these 5 to 6 things only, because that's what you want to know. शादी कब होगा, बच्चे कब होंगे, जॉब कब लगेगी, that's it. And the astrologer should be very practical in terms of this particular thing. He should be simply be answering to the client in terms of these questions only. But what happens, the astrologers, most of the astrologers don't have any knowledge. They start teaching fancy theories to the clients, which is not sustainable in the long term. Okay, that is my opinion.
Okay, so what according to you comes first? Is it free will or destiny? Or they just coexist together?
I don't believe in free will. I believe every single thing is predestined. Every single thing is fixed. See, what is the real play of destiny? Real play of destiny, I believe, is the place and the family you are born into. Suppose you are born to a multimillionaire, your life will be something else. Suppose you are born in a slum, your life will be something else. That's the starting point of life. We don't have the power, or we don't have the choice to choose that starting point, right? God doesn't ask us, okay, you want to get birth in this particular family or not. Number two, when the life ends, again, we don't have any control over it. It will end at the moment it will have to end, basically. So when your starting of the life is predestined, when your ending, which is your death, it is predestined, then all other events in between, they are also aligned and predestined. आप कुछ भी अपनी साइड से नहीं कर सकते हैं. In astrological text, I will give you the techniques where it is mentioned, okay, this particular placement in the person will have such and such career. So your career, your karma, it is also pre-decided. That is a different aspect that in today's scenario, in today's modern world, it has become different to predict precisely or pinpoint precisely, because career, the it has expanded. Okay, doctors, they have expanded, there are a lot of doctors. Okay, so engineering, it has expanded to a huge different dimension. So that is a different scenario, but still in the astrological techniques we have the techniques. Okay, this will be the karma of the person, this will be the marriage life of the person, so and so year the person will get married. So everything is predestined. I don't think there is any free will.
Don't you think this thing that you're talking to me now, has a very stagnant, smelly, I would rather say, you know, s- not a stability thing, but something which has to do with, it actually makes people more of doing nothing basically with their own life,
No,
because
no.
they know that what is going to happen. So why will they do even a single thing if they know that nothing is going to happen with their own free will, because everything is destined.
Basic, see, the thing is, basic karma should be executed. The result is predestined. The result is predestined. The final destination is predestined. Okay. The location where your life's journey has to end, that is predestined. But basic karma should be there, na? Basic fuel you should put into the vehicle to make it run.
Okay, so you say that karma is equally important in playing a very major role in deciding the destiny.
But to be honest, the planetary dashas and the planetary system is such that it will make you execute a particular karma for which there will be a particular result automatically. But this is a very controversial topic. This topic is very controversial in terms of the nature. So I will say, let's not go much deeper into it. Otherwise, it can cause conflicts in the mind of the people. And lot of people have wasted years just discussing this topic, the free will and the predestiny. Just follow what suits you. But if you ask my opinion is there is nothing like free will. It's all predestined. So here, for your viewers, I am telling you, there is a shloka in Bhrigunadi, original Bhrigunadi, translated by C.S. Patel ji. It is given in his book Nadi Astrology, I guess page number 731 or shloka number 731. वो ये कहता है, that says, look at a particular house. Suppose you see the fourth house, then see that house for the mother. Which house will tell the house of death of the mother? Then in the that shloka itself, in the shloka of Bhrigunadi itself, there is mentioned that eighth house shows death. Eighth house shows death. So eighth house from the fourth house is the 11th house. So Bhrigunadi is saying, see the 11th house for the death of the mother, because it is eighth from fourth. Then it says, look up at the 11th lord of the Lagan Kundli. See in which Navmansh Rashi it is sitting there. When Saturn will transit to that Navmansh Rashi, there can be some mishappening to the mother. Now my question is, Bhrigunadi is saying, for the death of the mother or bad events related to mother, see the 11th house lord's Navmansh Rashi transited by Saturn, because 11th is 8th from 4th. 8th is death, 4th is mother. So if Bhrigunadi is using this, why we can't use the second house for the house of profession of the children, which is 10th from 5th? Your 12th house is 10th from 3rd. Why can't we use 12th house for the profession of your siblings? 7th house is marriage. Your mother's sibling is the 6th house. मदर्स के आपके मदर के जो सिबलिंग्स हैं वो 6th हाउस है. Why can't we use 12th house for the married life of your mother's sibling? That is your mama and mosi. 4th house is the house of mother. Third from their 6th house, we all know it's the house of uncle, aunts, maternal. Your siblings of your mother, their marriage will be 7th from there, which is the 12th house. So 12th house, if it is highly afflicted, then one of the mother's siblings should have a major issue in the marriage. Why can't we rotate the house in this way? And that is where most of the astrology learners, most of the astrologers also with huge experience fail. They don't rotate the chart. Okay, you are getting the dasha of 6th lord. 9th house, is the house of father. 6th house is 10th from 9th. 6th house is the house of your father's profession. 6th house should tell you what your professions, what your father should follow in terms of the profession. So why can't the dasha of 6th lord give good results to the father in terms of the career, or dasha of 6th lord produce significant results for father's career? Yeah, that's a different thing. In terms of the father, there is a difference of opinion. Few people say follow 10th house for father. Few people say follow the 9th house for father. In the Brihat Prashra Hora Shastra, in the majority of astrological texts, 9th house is the house of father. But S.K. Mehta ji takes 10th house. Many classical texts they take 10th house, majority take ninth. Suppose we take ninth, so sixth will be the house of father's profession. So sixth lord dasha, why it can't give prominent result to the father in terms of the career? Your sixth lord dasha, not your father's sixth lord dasha. So if you learn the house rotation sutra, you will open up a new dimension for predictions. You will open up a new dimension on how to use the dasha, and you will open up a new dimension on how to see the charts.
So I mean, this is quite a good thing. You made my viewers understand about the chart rotation technique, which indeed I have also noticed in one of the videos that you have posted in your channel, and which is quite good because I think my viewers should go through it, and you can come to know more deep about what he's talking to me right now.
At starting, people used to challenge, okay, from where you got it. Then I finally found the shloka in the Bhrigu translated by the C.S. Patel ji. In the Nadi astrology book of C.S. Patel ji, I guess slok number 731, something like that, it has the mention. I posted it in my channel in the commentary tab. So now we have the authentic text, Bhrigu original Bhrigu telling us a sutra.
Have you come across any techniques, related to marriage or career or health, which you found it to be most accurate? When I say most accurate, I have two, three examples, I will like to give it to you. I have seen in my research, when I was researching about it, I'm not that much of a big researcher, but, when I used to see charts when I was learning astrology, there was this combination Mars Ketu. This Mars Ketu, when I saw in one of my female friends chart, and I came to know that it is creating havoc in their martial life.
No,
My
see, to
findings.
be honest with you, Aditya, then I will say Mars plays a very important role in the marriage, but especially for females. For females, Mars is the kark of husband. Many Nadi texts take it as the kark of husband. And yes, there are certain yogas. If Mars is highly afflicted, Mars is highly afflicted by Saturn, Mars is highly afflicted by Rahu, by conjunction, or Mars is with Ketu, the married life of such females will face a problem. Such females will have a cheating tendency. They can be not be so loyal in the marriage. They have a cheating tendency. They can go to extent of cheating in the marriage. Okay. And they can also create a havoc in the married life. Okay. Mars Rahu, Mars Ketu, Mars Saturn for female can be a very challenging combination. And certainly it impacts the married life of female in a negative way, and also can create a cheating tendency. And in some cases, the female might get cheated from the husband, but I have seen practically in a lot of cases, generally it's the female who cheats with such combination. But don't go blindly into it. Look up at the whole chart completely. Don't go blindly into it, and don't follow these words as it is, because we are just talking about a single combination and possibility of a single combination. We are only here to discuss that single combination. We are not looking at the whole chart right now. Might be in the now Mansha, we have a completely different story.
Could you share some advanced or eureka techniques that has worked for you very finely? I mean, it could be related to marriage or career, and it could be, pertaining to this Navansh chart, Dashansh chart. Any techniques that you are very fond of and which gives you really very good results?
Aditya, this is my favorite topic, and now I will proceed. But as you asked, advanced, I will share the advanced sutras. But before that, I will share some basic sutras also. So, as you all know, Saturn is the Karma Karka planet. Karma, your career. Jupiter is the Karka, Jiva Karka. Also, many people take it as the Karka of destiny, luck. So, the year, the Jupiter will transit over your Saturn, or Jupiter will transit the Rashi occupied by Saturn. That year should be a very good year for you professionally. You should get a professional rise. Even a very unemployed person can also get a job, provided Saturn is not afflicted, like Saturn is not in Duryoga, like Saturn Ketu, Saturn Rahu combination. Then in that year, there can be a professional downfall. In the Lagna Kundli, you have to check it. Now, coming to marriage, just look up at the Shukra Venus in the Lagna Kundli. See when Jupiter transits over the Venus. When Jupiter will transit over Venus, or when Saturn in the transit will transit over your Venus, there will be high chances of a marriage or not marriage, then relationship.
So when you say that Jupiter transit over Venus, is it also Jupiter trine to Venus because Jupiter has
I will,
aspects of
yeah,
it?
trine is also mentioned, but I advise using the exact transit. So Jupiter or Saturn transiting over Venus can trigger a marriage, relationship, engagement sort of event. Jupiter over Saturn or Saturn in the transit over Jupiter for professional rise. You can take it. Now advanced sutras. See, what you need to do is, Aditya, just simply mark these three planets in your chart. Your ninth lord rules your bhagya luck. Your 11th lord, it rules your gains. And your second lord, it rules your wealth. See which three planets are ruling these houses. Mark those three planets in the D9 chart. In the Naumansh Kundli, mark your ninth lord. In the Naumansha, mark your 11th lord. In the Naumansha, mark your second lord. See which Rashi they are occupying in the Naumansh Kundli. So, when in the transit, the Jupiter will transit over the ninth lord's Naumansh Rashi, or 11th lord's Naumansh Rashi, or your second lord's Naumansh Rashi, those years will be of financial luck. Those years you will have a great financial rise, and those years will be golden years for you professionally. In a snapshot method, in a snapshot way, by using Naumansh Kundli as well as the transits. Now, many people have misconception that Navmansh is only seen for marriage. No, Navmansh is seen for everything. The techniques I shared with you, they are mentioned in the Chandrakala Nadi, Deva Keralam, also in the Bhrigu Nadi. They are common there. Similarly, for marriage, see the Navmansh Kundli. But before that, in the Lagna Kundli, just check which planet is your seventh lord, which planet rules your seventh house. See that planet in the Navmansh and see your Venus in the Naumansh. This is common for males as well as females. When Jupiter in the transit will transit over the sign occupied by Venus in the D9 or or the seventh lord in the D9, that year you should be getting married, engaged, or a major year regarding relationship. Why there is this confusion? Because see, firstly you need to check in what age category the person's marriage is falling. Is there a late marriage? Is there early marriage?
Exactly, the
If
yogas basically.
yogas, if there is a late marriage, then if this transit comes in, then it can give affair. Even if a person is married and these transits comes in, then also I have seen possibility of affairs, relationship. So this is how beautifully you can use Naumansha. Okay, just simply see the seventh lord of the Lagna Kundli in the D9 and see which year Jupiter transits over that Rashi.
And what about the Dashams chart? Have you got any predictive or advance?
See, we have different kind of Dashmansh Kundli. There's one very beautiful and a very great scholar, R.K. Das. He has written a book, Dashmansha, on Dashmansha and profession. But he has casted a different Dashmansha. Generally, we follow Parashari Dashmansh. But he has casted a different Dashmansha and he has named it as Sadhu Paddhati Dashmansh. So for Sadhu Paddhati Dashmansh, there are different rules. He has given a different rules. Those rules are found in his book, R.K. Das. He has written a book on Dashmansh. But if you follow Parashari Dashmansha, then you have to focus on two houses, the Lagna of the Dashmansh and the 10th house of the Dashmansh. Whichever planets occupy the Lagna in the 10th house of the Dashmansha, you will have the career connected with those planets. Suppose Surya is connected with the Lagan or the 10th house of the Dashmansha, 99% person should be in the government job. If it is not there, then I think the Dashmansh Lagna is incorrect. You need to do the birth time rectification. Suppose Mars is connected with the Lagan or the 10th house of D10, then the Mars signified uniformed professions like doctor, police, army, lawyers, uniformed people. So such a person should be in some uniformed service or a uniformed profession or can be into technical engineering work. If not, then I don't think that is the right Dashmansh Lagna. So Dashmansh Lagan and 10th house, the planet setting here creates a huge impact on your karma. Suppose it is Jupiter, then teaching. If suppose Venus is there, then something related to acting, modeling, social media fame, or business also. Mercury also can give business, accountancy, CA, banking profession if sitting in the first or the 10th house of D10. If no planet sits in the first or 10th house of D10, then see which planet is aspecting it. Use its signification. And another very important aspect, okay? So this is regarding the karma. But see, always confirm it with the other aspects also. See the Parashari method also. See the method given the Brihat Jatak, the 10th Lord's Naumansha. It also decides the person's karma. Then also have a look at the Karkam Shikundi using the Gemini Naumansh. If all of these three tallies up, or all of these indicates a similar result, then no doubt the person should be following that karma, that profession. And I will share a very rare sutra. So there is a very rare sutra on how to see great rise in the chart. So see the moon of your Lagna Kundli. In the Lagna Kundli, just check which nakshatra the moon is in. Whether it's in the Bharini or Uttar Bhadrapada, Revati, I'm just for giving these, like for example. Okay. See which nakshatra moon is there. Take that nakshatra lord. Take that nakshatra lord and see, is it getting connected with the 10th house of Dashmansh? If the nakshatra lord is in the 10th house of the Dashmansha, or if the nakshatra lord is aspecting the 10th house of the Dashmansha, then such a person will get a huge professional fame, will rise in his career, can reach to a top level. This is a very good Raj Yoga. Again, this is mentioned by Shri K.N. Rao ji also many times, VP Goyal ji also many times in their books. And this moon's nakshatra lords and its importance also is given in the Chandrakala Nadi in the Deva Keralam. Can you imagine? So moon's nakshatra lord, if occupying the 10th house of the Shmansh, can give very good rise in terms of the career.
So, when you assess a person's character, what do you see first? Because there are so many things, you cannot see everything at once. So, you go step by step. But what is the first step that you take?
See, Lagna is yourself. Lagna indicates your character. Fifth house is the house of your mind. If Lagna, first house as well as the fifth house, they are afflicted by Papa Grahe, Shani, Mangal, Rahu, Ketu, or their lords are not a strength, means they are debilitated without Neech Bhang or badly afflicted. Such a person will have bad mental intentions. Such a person can get defamed, will be of bad character. Bad character means can have a tendency of cheating or committing bad acts according to the standards of the society.
So, don't you see the ascendant lord's nakshatra, or maybe the ascendant nakshatra, or maybe the Navansh first house rising zodiac sign? Because I think these are also the contribute, between.
In terms of the Lagn's nakshatra, there are references. Many astrologists say use Lagn's nakshatra for the Vimshotri Dasha. Okay. Yeah, that is no doubt one of the major thing which you can use in the Vimshotri. But regarding Lagn's nakshatra, I'll tell you. Just see which nakshatra the Lagna is falling. Just see which nakshatra the Lagna is falling. Note down its lord. The lord of that nakshatra, the Lagna nakshatra lord, in its dasha antardasha, will give you great rise, will give you prominent rise, wealth, status, and can give some very good results in the dasha period. This technique is also mentioned in the C.S. Patel ji's book. I guess this is mentioned in the book Naumansha and Nadi Astrology, where he has told how the Lagan's nakshatra lord, its dasha, can be very constructive, can be very Raj Yoga Karaka, can prove out to be very good for the person in terms of the professional growth.
And what about the moon's nakshatra? Does it also play a role in basically
No, Moon's
defining
Nakshatra
characters?
Lord's technique I told you. Moon's Nakshatra Lord in the D10. If it is connected with the 10th house, then
No, but this is a technique. I'm talking about the mindset of a person, basically the psychology of a person. So will you see moon or the ascendant nakshatra?
I follow Lagna and 5th house. See, Aditya, coming to the nakshatras, the problem is nakshatras when they are mentioned in the Jyotish classics, they are used more predominantly in the calculations, like calculation of the Kala Chakra Dasha, calculation of the Vimshotri Dasha. For predictive aspect, they are not used much. For predictive aspects, we have one concept of Navtara Chakra. Navtara Chakra, there is Sampat Nakshatra. Sampat Nakshatra is the second nakshatra from Janma Nakshatra. So it is said, just see the second nakshatra from the Janma Nakshatra, it's Sampat Tara. See the Sampat Tara lords. So dasha of the Sampat Tara lords or Sampat Nakshatra lords dasha can give very good wealth. When the planet transits the Sampat Nakshatra, like Jupiter, when transits the Sampat Nakshatra can give very good wealth. So that's the predictive use of nakshatra by the Navtara Chakra. There is another predictive use of nakshatra using the Ravan Samhita nakshatra padas, but it is not much known to the people. I tell you, there is a book Naksha on Nakshatra by K.T. Shubkaran. So K.T. Shubkaran has written a book on the nakshatra. He has given prediction for each planet in each nakshatra pada aspected by various planets. So each planet in each nakshatra pada aspected by various planet, K.T. Shubkaran has given in his book, in the nakshatra book. I believe he has taken it from the Ravan Samhita, because Ravan Samhita nakshatra pada also had same predictions. So high chances they both are relatable. So if you want to follow that method, then follow that book. But I will advise, don't go much deeper into the nakshatra, because we before, like, except nakshatra, there are a lot of things which can be enough for a very accurate astrological prediction.
So I have seen many of the astrologers, they are predicting Raj Yogas in someone's chart. But I've also seen people in that Raj Yogas part, it doesn't fructify. Basically, the Raj Yogas are predicted, the yogas are there, but it doesn't fructify. Is there any transit that gives them the push, the yoga to fructify, or what is it?
No, see, in the cases where the Raj Yogas has not got fortified, then always remember there is a Raj Yoga Bhang also. We have talked a lot about the Panch Mahapurush Raj Yoga. आज की डेट में एवरी अदर पर्सन ऑन दी यूट्यूब और इंस्टाग्राम इज टेलिंग ओके पंच महापुरुष राज योगा, रोचक योगा, मलव्या योगा. बट इन दी चंद्रकला नाड़ी देर इज अ श्लोक ऑन राजयोग भंग ऑफ दी पंच महापुरुष योग. राजयोग भंग ऑफ द पंच महापुरुष योग, वी हैव अ श्लोका. So if you go ahead with the Chandrakala Nadi, you will realize for each placement, especially for Malvya Yoga, it is said if Malavya Yoga is there, then if Jupiter and Saturn they are together in the chart, then it can lead to the Rajyog Bhang. If Jupiter and Saturn they are together in the chart, then it can cause the Rajyog Bhang of a Malavya Yoga.
So what about the bad yogas, like, the Manglik dosh? Does it also have a bhanga?
Yeah, there is the Bhang for the Manglik dosha, but I don't give much importance to the Manglik dosha. Give more importance to the Navmansh only for
Oh,
marriage.
okay, so from your experience, what is the most result producing thing in astrology? Is it dasha or is it transits?
In my experience, it is only the transits.
You don't give much importance to any kind of dashas,
I
the
don't give much
Vimshotri, Yogini.
importance to the dashas. The reason is there are more than 50 dashas in astrology. For each dasha, there are more than 4 settings, 3 or 4 settings. Each scholar claims my setting is accurate and other person's setting is not accurate. Now, either you will spend a life just figuring out which setting is accurate. Number two, if I talk about Vimshotri Dasha, you calculate Vimshotri from the nakshatra of moon. There are scholars who calculate from the nakshatra of Lagna. There are scholars who calculate it from your Nam nakshatra, as mentioned in the Lomas Samhita. For Char Dasha, there is a method given by Sri K.N. Rao. For Char Dasha, there is a method given by Sri Rangti Rangacharya. For Kal Chakra Dasha, there is a calculation given by Sri R. Santhanam, Sri K.N. Rao ji and Sanjay Rath ji, Sri Shakti Mohan Singh ji, Sri U.K. Jha ji. So imagine U.K. Jha is a great scholar, Shakti Mohan Singh ji is a great scholar, R. Santhanam is a great scholar, your Rao and Sanjay Rath ji, they are great scholar, K.N. Rao ji. They all have given a different calculation from the Kal Chakra Dasha. We always get a different Dasha sequence. Now, which one is accurate? The problem is there's a lot of ambiguity, like there's a lot of confusion. Now, compare the transits. Transits are constant. If I know on 2nd of June, Jupiter will transit Cancer Rashi, then obviously on 2nd of June, Jupiter will transit Cancer Rashi. No astrologer in the world can claim that I will take Jupiter not in Cancer, I will take it in Capricorn. Number one. By the Ayanamsha difference, the dates can differ. For example, if I'm using Lahari Ayanamsha, it is telling me the date 2nd June, Jupiter will enter Cancer. Suppose if I was using the the Raman Ayanamsha, or if I was using the Bhasin Ayanamsha, or PV Narasimha Rao's these Pushyapaksha Namsha. So it can happen Jupiter might enter the Cancer Rashi few days earlier. But it will eventually come to Cancer, na? When it will come to Cancer, we have predictive techniques. How to see in what transit, what result will come up. Those are constant. Those are constant.
Okay, so tell me one thing. Don't you think, or do you have the same understanding related to Ayanamsha as well? Because there are so many Ayanamshas.
Ayanamsha, there's a lot of confusion. But I will suggest you read two articles. Shri R. Santhanamji's article on Lehri Ayanamsha and Varamir, not the ancient Varamir, but Sarajit Podar sir, student of Sri Sanjay Rathji. He has given a very good article on Ayanamsha. So he has proved by taking the shlokas from the Brihat Samhita that in the Brihat during the time of the Varamir, during the time of Brihat Jatak Brihat Samhita, Varamir followed Lehri Ayamsha, or not exactly Lehri but close to Lehri, because they did the reverse engineering of the shlokas. Similarly, R. Santhanamji recorded the conception time of a baby very accurately. Then they also recorded the birth time of a baby very accurately. They use the methods to arrive at the birth time from the conception time, and to arrive at the conception time from the birth time. So while using those sutras, they arrived at the exact birth and conception time, but only using the Lahiri Amsha, not by any other Ayan Amsha. So that's why it gives a conclusive proof, or a foolproof proof, I'll say, for the Lehri Ayanamsha to follow. So use Lehri. Real Ayanamsha might be closer to Lehri, but the most closest thing we have right now is Lehri. Okay, Lehri Ayanamsha you can use.
Do you think that crystals, play an important role as a remedial part in astrology? So I have seen many of the astrologers, basically on the YouTube, they they consult to the give consultations to the people, and they tell them to wear certain kind of ruby, or I don't remember the exact one, which is given for love, because if someone is not finding their true love in their life,
No,
is it like the crystal overrides the blueprint of the
no,
karma?
no, 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 no. We must understand the gemstones, they act as a catalyst. Catalyst means it will affect the rate of the reaction. It will pace it up or slow it down. It can't change the outcome. So gemstone just affects the intensity of results. Suppose you're having a very strong Raj Yoga, you're under the Dasha of the Raj Yoga. You wore the gemstone to activate that. You might get enhanced results. But nature or the blueprint of the chart would change.
Regarding the present world events, okay, I can see a lot of uncertainty around. Do you think that the world leaders' birth chart has to be taken into consideration, or the country has its own chart of it?
See, I don't suggest using the country's chart, because country, the land and the soil was existence since long time. It's not a new existence. A baby, when baby takes birth, it's a new existence. A new life has came to this planet. But for a country, that land was always there. So I don't suggest using the country's chart. Yes, you can use the birth charts of the leaders. They can indicate you great events regarding the country based upon their transits and dashas. But the problem is you won't find the accurate details, because generally the political personalities and all the influential personalities, they don't give the right birth details out.
Astrologers often speak about their successful predictions. That's what I have seen in many of the forums. Okay. But tell me one thing. Have you also failed while making predictions? And if
No,
so,
yes,
what was your experience, and what was that moment when you failed? Can you share something with me?
Aditya, to be very honest, I'm telling here it in your platform. Suppose I see 10 charts, then I'll fail around in 2 to 3 charts badly. But I know I will be accurate in 7 charts almost. My focus will always on those 7 charts to give the right prediction. The prediction which just went wrong, we can't do anything of it. I'll just let that person know, you can consult anyone else. That simple. Because in none of the practical scenarios we have 100% accuracy rate. Medical science is a proven science. I know doctors, they can't verify or treat a particular disease. For example, a famous celebrity was having a major issue in the nerve. Doctors couldn't figure out his nerve issue for years. That's a proven science. Doctors give medicines, many times medicine doesn't work. An advocate, you just go and check the success rate of the top advocates. You won't find it more than 70%. So that's also more like way too enough. Okay, I'll say. So in astrology, I believe maximum accuracy someone can get is 80%. If you are moving somewhere around 70%, 80%, it's good. The predictions which are going wrong, don't give much importance to it because you will get disturbed. You will get disturbed. Focus on what right you are getting.
Do you think astrology is subservient to something greater, like faith or God? So basically, I have this thing in my mind that if this astrology is a system and if it is made by some creator or some God, do you think that they can get into this system and do it correct for you? A person of faith, a person who believes in God, does they get the exemption from the astrological system?
Or the planetary results, you mean to say. So, Aditya, for answering this question of yours, in the present time, there are some great Mahatmas or saints in India. One of the very famous one, very genuine and very spiritual, very pure soul. He's suffering from a major chronic health issue. And there is a constant pain. So I have seen even the most spiritual people, they have problems. They have problems. Health problems, any other problem. You can't add what is not there in your destiny, nor you can subtract. God can give you peace of mind. God can give you that strength to fight that pain or to bear that pain. But pain, if it is destined, it will come to you. Even greatest of the current, I won't name here, but you know whom I'm talking about. So there are a lot of such great saints right now who are facing some health issue. So it's you can't even if you're close to God, you think being closer to God it will change the destiny. No, that will won't be the case.
What I think, Satvik, the greatest Raj Yoga in a person is seen without a chart. This is what my personal belief is. It could be wrong, it could be, true, but I won't go into that concept because I'm open to much of the things, in this universe. What I have seen, a person who has a very big family, okay, and every person in that family is doing good, your aunts, your grandfather, your paternal grandfather, your paternal grandmother, everyone are doing good, economically as well, emotionally as well. I think this is it. This is the biggest Raj Yoga which one can have without any exception. This is what my personal belief is, because you know what, Mercury is in astrology it said that Mercury is your siblings. Your sibling is doing good. Now of course there are things like there is a natural signification to a planet, you might know, because you are
I
so much
I to think Mars is the Kark of siblings.
yeah.
Mercury more of a uncle and aunts.
Yeah, in Mercury, I have seen. I mean, I don't know exactly, but I've seen Mercury. Some of the astrologers take it as a younger sister. I don't know exactly who was that astrologer, but the point of the matter is that when a person has such a good family life, everything is good in his or family, and the Saturn return has also happened. Like after 30, I believe so,
Right.
and everything is going good. I believe that is it. That is the best Raja Yoga one can have in his or her hot chart.
No, see, philosophical. If you see it from the philosophical angle, then I'll believe in your words. And as a normal human being, also who is not concerned more about astrology or other things, if your family, if everyone around you, they are happy, they are healthy, they are doing well, then that's the Raj Yoga.
Do you think any person can be waved off from the astrological influences, or anyone could rise above the predictions that astrology could give?
No, personally, I don't believe in this thing. To be honest, because as I told, if you are believing in the astrology, then you should be a firm believer. If you have doubts, then those doubts can be valid. But it doesn't mean the planetary system up there will stop influencing their influence on you. They won't ask you, okay, I'm about to deliver you this result. क्या मैं करूँ क्या? नहीं, वो वैसा नहीं पूछेंगे. So जो होना है वो तो होके रहेगा. Even in the lot of classical books, you will find this reference that everything is like a lot of things are predestined. So I don't believe we can change it.
Like, many of the astrologers that I have seen on the YouTube channel, they say that there should be some yogas. Okay, the yogas needs to be there. Only then some prediction can work out. When I was researching myself, I also had this additional things that I gave to this statement, which was about the Sanyoga and the Upyoga.
Raj Yoga is your birth chart.
Okay,
Sanyog, we can say it's your dasha and transit.
okay.
It is not favoring you, don't have the Sanyog. You need a blend of it. We need a blend of Raj Yoga supported by a good dasha transit to get the results.
And the other thing, I mean, to finalize it, also the upyog as well. Because if you have everything and if you cannot, make use of it, it's of no use.
Yeah, if basic karma is missing, then I think the person won't be able to achieve it.
So tell me one thing, if the moon is afflicted, okay, and the moon has got severe afflictions on it, okay, and the chart is promising many things, do you think still it will fructify the events? Because the mind is what gives rise to actions. Your thought gives rise to actions. If your moon is not at a better place, do
No,
you think that
you're very
it's-
right. When we read about the Neej Bhang, sorry, not the Neej Bhang, but Raj Yog Bhang. Raj Yog Bhang. Every classical text has a chapter on it. Most of the classical texts have a chapter on it. Raj Yog Bhang. So when we learn about Raj Yog Bhang, in most of the astrological texts, we find two combinations to be common. One is afflicted, debilitated, or badly placed Surya. Very bad Surya. Highly afflicted, plus if in not a comfortable Rashi, can lead to Rajyog Bhang. Also, you find out the reference of moon. That if moon is not strong in the chart, moon is afflicted, then it also can lead to the Rajyog Bhang. Like person might not be able to
use it?
use it, like make the full use of that potential which is born with.
But again, then there is one more sect of astrologers who say that, the Kendra Yoga, which is there in astrology, that second to and the 12th, when it is empty, it is very, I mean, it's not in a good, the moon is not in a good position because it doesn't have any support. But that person does very well. So basically, in the afflictions also, the person can do very well. And even if the moon is very good, he can do very well. So the ability to do good is always present in the chart. Am I right?
Yeah, we can definitely believe in it.
Do you think that astrology should be formally taught in the schools? Because I believe Mr. K. N. Rao, he is a very respectable astrologer. He also had this, I think he has this, deep wish
Yeah.
that, and not only him, basically many of the reputable astrologers, they want that, the people should know about this.
Yeah, we can do add it, but I don't think as a compulsory subject because it's a matter of faith or interest also. Suppose I'm not interested in mathematics, then I won't study maths. Doesn't matter how good maths is, or doesn't matter how accurate the maths is. If I am not interested, I won't study. So we should add up astrology as a subject, but only making it an optional in nature. Like if you're interested, you can pursue astrology. But for that, Aditya, we need lot of infrastructure. Infrastructure in the, I mean to say, we need good teachers, a good content which should be taught. So that I think is not there till now. It will take many years. Might be in the future it can come up.
There's much of the things that I actually got to know about you. Your thoughts really were very upfront, and I respect it. The only thing that I don't know if it's the right time to ask you, or maybe we can ask this after the podcast, the exception part about the astrology, because I don't know, because having a human heart, it's something that I cannot just take it in a way that everything is this time. That freedom is contained in some container or some galaxy. There are millions of galaxies, but of course, yes, we won't get into that. I also believe the exceptions in the astrology works. So the best and the very best thing that I'm going to ask you now, Mr. Satvik, is about the 2026 predictions. This is where my viewers will be so much interested to know from you. When I say,
Yeah, in terms of 26, for personalized predictions, I believe we have very good tools. Tithi Pravesh chart, for example. There is one Varshfal also, Bhrigu Chakra Paddhati also, and there are certain methods for predicting the events related to the exact year. Okay, based upon Naumansh also, eventful years of the life of C.S. Patel. Based upon those things, we can definitely tell a person it will be a good year or bad year. But for that, we need their chart, personal charts. Okay, globally, in terms of the global events, if I talk about mundane events, then no doubt this year will have a Mars Saturn combination and Mars Rahu combination together. Like firstly, we'll have a Mars Rahu combination. Then we'll have a Mars Saturn starting from 25th of Feb till I guess it will be till the end of May. So from end of Feb till May, it can be turbulent time globally. It can cause some disruptions globally. Generally, whenever Mars Rahu, Mars Saturn, they come align together in the chart, in the natal chart. Okay, then it can lead to events like some accidents, disputes, wars, violence, and all these events can lead to the fall of stock market. The market can fall. So that is what globally we can expect. But yes, at personal level, then we need to open up the chart.
so what if a person is born on a planet like Mars? Okay. We all know that scientific advancements are going very, very in a pace manner. And I believe in coming times we will be able to settle in Mars as well, though in a colony basis and though not much. But do you think once a person is born on the planet Mars, will that chart be made according to the Mars birthplace, or will it be still considered as on the Earth?
No, you're very right. But I think to confirm about this particular question, I will need to ask the astronauts to go up to the space station because they might be knowing what they experience unusual there. Because for them also, they are not on the Earth, correct? So suppose they are up there in the space, but still they are getting affected by the planets. Suppose if someone has went to the space station, came back, okay, still that person is in the control of the planets. So I think even if you go out in the space, still there will be planet influence provided many of our astronauts they go up there and come back down.
Exactly. But what if they don't? What if they stay there? What if their generations is being
No,
born?
they stay in space station for months,
No, I'm talking
living a
about
normal life.
what about the planet basically? Because you are just changing the planet now and you are
Yeah,
now
that,
settling on the Mars.
no,
So will you make a birth chart according to the Mars birthplace, or will you make it according to Earth?
see, Aditya, I personally never thought about this scenario. Like to be honest.
So Satvik, thank you for joining my show. It was pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Aditya. I just want to say, I know it's very difficult to put it in words in 1.5 or 2 hours. All the wisdom and all the techniques. But if I could give a eye-opening session to everyone, then I think that will be more than enough. And yeah, it was pleasure being here as a guest with you. And I believe next time we'll do podcast more on we'll discuss more hardcore concepts of the technical astrology, which are meant for the learners or the students of astrology.
So as I reflect on today's conversation with Mr. Satvik, my thoughts whisper back to me. Undoubtedly, astrology might have played a very crucial role in guiding many people across generations. Is it true or not? I have not yet arrived to any conclusions. But What I do believe is a human being's willpower, a human being's imagination is limitless, is endless. We live in a universe full of possibilities, and astrology could be one of the possibility. In ancient times, many people used to see the stars to navigate through the unknown terrain. Likewise, the spiritual seers also looked upon the planets because they thought that planets do play a vital role in deciding one's destiny. But as I always say, a guide can be a light, but it is not your life. A guide can guide you, but it is upon you to take your life forward. Your life is yours. That heart beating towards your dream is yours. Your destiny is yours. Your choices are yours. You are the master of your own fate. You are the captain of your own soul. And thank you, Nelson Mandela, for ending this up for me.